Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. How was Arizona?
It was good. The game was not very. I mean, it was a good game. 2-1.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, it was close. Not a lot happened other than Geraldo Perdomo out there telling what's coming from Clay Holmes. I mean, with bright green stuff on his hand. I mean,
nobody cares anymore, right? Is that how it
I
works?
called it out on the air.
Yeah.
And that was the hit. Then he gave up the hit to Vargas. That was the 2 runs the Diamondbacks scored.
Do you feel like
he was the only
changed?
one that did it? Because then the next guy got on second and didn't do it. It was only Perdomo.
Why?
I don't know.
Doesn't the team talk and say, "Hey,
listen"? As soon as he went like this on second base, I was like, you hit the talk back, and I was like, Perdomo's about to be given all them signs. We need to get a shot of him. And then after one pitch, he was out there going. I mean, like not even hiding it.
I don't understand how one guy does it and then the next guy gets the
then
second.
whoever was on first that got the second on the single didn't even look, didn't even try.
Huh.
And I think Arenado was up, so maybe Arenado didn't want the signs.
That could be, right? One player doesn't want it.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, apparently Ildemaro Vargas went in, and he got a 2 RBI single. That was the difference in the game.
Ildemaro Vargas is getting it all this year.
But the Mets offense was not good, man. Oof.
Kratz, they made Arizona's starters look like absolute studs. Like Merrill Kelly has struggled. Nelson has struggled. Eduardo Rodriguez had ridiculous.
He's done good.
I mean, these guys were dealing. Yeah, no, I know he's done good, but like he's not doing 8 and whatever good. I mean, they were making all their guys look like studs.
He went out for the 9th. I think it was the first time since like 2023 that he made it out or he came back out for the 9th inning. Like talking 3 years. Unfortunately for Mets fans, it was against the Mets, but this team cannot hit. Pressing or not pressing, they cannot hit.
And so great. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Juan Soto hit. I think he hit leadoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There came up a situation where there was a runner on second. I'm like, just walk him. I mean, no offense. Bo Bichette's been really good. This year he's not been really good. Walk him every time. There was people I talked to that were there that were like, I don't know Juan Soto ever gets a pitch to hit because nobody behind him is hitting at all. So just walk him every time. Anytime there's a situation, and he knows that. Like, but the thing for me is like, and Soto's obviously really good, but like there was an opportunity. I think they were down 2-1. And he gets a 2-0 heater, like center cut. And he just is like, tunk, and you're like, that's the one.
But that's not his game.
I know, but that's the one. Like,
I know.
You got to try to tie this game up right there.
I know it drives
2-0 center cut. Maybe actually a little bit down and in. Ball.
Him and Votto in my generation just won't do it.
But that's that's when you need the homer.
I think Soto's on a different level than Votto. Not that we're gonna get into it. They're both doing the same thing, but Juan Soto does what Juan Soto wants to do, I think, at the plate. I'll be honest. There's very few guys in the game that – I'm not saying he didn't want to hit a 2-run homer, but
I thought they were the same. I mean, yeah, you can vary a level of, maybe he wouldn't take that particular pitch, but pretty much the same profile in terms of by far best hitter. They're mostly going to pitch around you. They're going to walk you so often that you're used to taking pitches, and – that 2-0 heater goes down the middle, and there's 2 more balls, and you get your base, and you just move on.
Well, no, then he popped up. Then they just started throwing him wrinkles and change it. Merrill Kelly had a 9.9 ERA going in this game, and he went 7 innings and shoved. And they scored 1 run, and it was shoved.
That whole series was crazy. And
you know what? This is the thing, and we all know how we feel about Mendy. I know how I feel. I love Carlos Mendoza. He's going to get blamed. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. What could he do? At one point, Adam Amin was sitting next to me, and we get to about the 8th inning, and it's between innings. You're just kind of talking amongst ourselves, and I'm like, what can Mendy do? What could Mendy do different? It's 2-1 right now. What could he 2 runs? Clay Holmes pitched well. The bullpen came in and did their job. They scored 1 run. What could he do different? There's nobody on the bench he could have brought in.
He can say, hey, David Stearns, did you see what the Giants did? Let's start doing that. Let's do trades right now because this is just not working.
Who could they trade?
I don't know, I'm just messing around. It's so early too. I mean, they can trade people, but they can trade people that would lead them to giving up on the season, which we'll have later in spreading rumors. I mean, they have guys that are going to be free agents, but in terms of boosting their team, Peralta, Clay Holmes going to be a free agent. He'll opt out. So we're going to get to all of that. One more thing from this series.
Holmes is nasty.
Dude, he's going to cash out.
Dude, he's nasty. He throws that sinker. Nobody can get it in the air.
He's got it figured out. One more thing from that series. You got to see Ryan Waldschmidt in his
punched out 3 teams that got the game I was at.
But the game before that, the pinch
game before he got a pinch hit. I met his dad. His dad said he watches every day. So hello, Mr. Waldschmidt.
Oh, awesome. Hello, Mr. Waldschmidt. Sunday, too. He had a great day.
He had a great
defensively
day
and at the plate.
But Friday, he got the pinch hit. He got the hit. Saturday, he went over 3 with 3 punchies. Caught a lot of balls in center field, though. He caught like 8 putouts.
He's going to be good. I like him.
Yeah, no, it's his first big league start, and you get Clay Holmes just throwing them freaking sinker balls he's probably never seen in AAA before. At 96, I mean, it was. But
Alec Thomas is going to get traded. It seems he got DFA'd, but someone's going to acquire him.
Yeah, I just don't know what the Mets can do. I really don't know what they can do.
Well, the report we'll get to later says that they're already just feeling out what they can get for their starters, because you know what they do with starters hitting free agency that are 1s or 2s or even some 3s. See ya. They're not giving them 5 years. It's just not their MO until they go through enough pain and figure out they need to do that. But I want to get to this trade because I want to spend some time on this. I'm fascinated by this topic. So let's charge. He's charging the mound. Okay, here we go. Patrick Bailey gets traded from the Giants to the Cleveland Guardians. And now they have Austin Hedges and Patrick Bailey. On the other side of this one, Matt Tugboat Wilkinson. You might know that name from the WBC. And then the number 29 overall pick. That's a first-round pick. It's a good pick for the Giants to pick up. And they had essentially given up on Bailey. They were like, the offense hasn't been there for years. This year, it's atrocious. And this team can't hit. So as good as he is at framing pitches, the Giants and Buster Posey, who could freaking hit when he was a catcher in the bigs, said, I'm done. We're moving on to Susac and Jesus Rodriguez, who had a huge knock for them yesterday. Your thoughts on this one for both sides?
I don't understand it from the Cleveland side, maybe more than the Giants. The Giants were what you said. Susac's been great. Rodriguez had a big hit for him. Bailey's kind of grown stale in San Francisco because, it's been a couple years now since he's hit at all. But the thing for me is, didn't they already have this guy? I mean, I know Bailey's an upgrade from Bo Naylor, but didn't they already have a no-hit frame, defensive framey catcher guy? And now they have Austin Hedges and Bailey? I don't understand. I mean, I guess Cleveland must think he's that big of an upgrade. I mean, has to be a huge upgrade for me. Because then you send Bo Naylor down, who they've kind of said they wanted him there. He's been there for a few years, too. He hasn't really done much either. I don't know. 29th pick and a prospect is a big give. And the reason that everyone's saying is the Giants wanted to have a huge bonus pool to try to get, what's his name, Rock Chalowski, the guy who's supposed to be the number 1 pick. Bob Nightingale reported this. That they're supposed to go way over slot and pay him, so he'll say no to the White. I think the Giants have the 4th pick. So he'll fall to the 4th pick because the Giants are just in love with him. I don't know. Kratz, maybe you have a better feeling on this for me, but I don't see it. I more don't see it. I mean, the Giants, sure, I see it from their side, but the Guardians, I just don't understand why the Guardians would do this.
That is such a crapshoot. If you think Rock Chalowski, I forget how you say his last name, but is going to fall to you in the draft to definitely get rid of your starting catcher. Are they saying that defense mattered before when the offense was okay, and now the offense has been terrible because he's offensively challenged? They're going to get rid of him. Believe me, if there's a topic I know about, it's not hitting in the big leagues. I don't care what team you are, you get gotten rid of. So what were the Guardians thinking when they're bringing him in? Nothing against Bailey. Yes, behind the dish, he's winning Gold Gloves. Like, he can receive really well. I know the Guardians really want that stat. I know from knowing Buster and playing with Buster, the receiving stat is not that important to him. He thinks there's other values. Other teams really, really value that receiving stat. So I think that's why the Guardians went and picked him up and just said, okay, whatever on your hitting, like, we've figured out how to have catchers that don't hit. And because Buster Posey, when Farhan Zaidi was there, Buster wanted, I'm forgetting the catcher's name. He was there the year before, like the nicest guy, Hundley.
To manage.
Well, they wanted him to manage, but they wanted him to come back. And Farhan Zaidi said, no, we're going to trade for Kratz because his receiving numbers are better. And Posey said, who cares about receiving numbers? I know what this guy can do in the big leagues. I want him back. And they butted heads on that. So I know Posey's, well, he's not like, oh, receiving doesn't matter. He just doesn't value it as much as the rest of the industry values it.
And I don't even know if it's the rest of the industry. The Guardians are the extreme example of a team that values this particular type of player more than maybe any other team. They are pitching, defense, run prevention to its core. They think that slumps less than hitting, which is accurate. And then you get to the postseason and they never hit enough to really go deep.
Do anything.
Right. But their thing is, I think they do all this saying we're going to have a consistent enough competitive season. And maybe 1 year our hitters all get hot at the same time, or we get one big bat and we're able to push through. So that's like their emphasis on this side. The Giants' emphasis is our offense sucks. Our big three is doing nothing. And do you know who's getting picked on as much as the big three? Patrick Bailey. Fans were going freaking wild. Pitchforks everywhere because he hadn't hit for years. And maybe they don't value, obviously,
and
fans.
Susak has been off to a good start. So they're like, just play Susak.
And Rodriguez could be good.
But he's not healthy.
Right? I know, but Rodriguez yesterday was the guy. They're done. Like, and it's not up to the fans to make the decisions. My point is, you know how Volpe took the heat last year for the Yankees basically with anything? Like, that was Bailey right now. If you looked at any tweet that had significant comments on it, and I know this isn't the best barometer, 98% of the comments from Giants fans were like, oh, thank gosh, we were so done with this. And he was about to get booted to more of a backup role for the team because they need offense. They're not hitting. Like, we're showing this chart.
Neither
right
are
now.
the Guardians.
I know, but the Giants are in risk of falling out of it in like the next few weeks. The Guardians
falling out of it?
You think they're already out of it?
You think they're a playoff team the way they're constructed?
I don't think they look like a playoff team.
Logan Webb on the IL?
If I said to you, hey, dude, whatever you can do to try and rescue yourself and try and put together a winning streak, isn't this a move you would maybe try to make and be like, all right, well, we need some offense here, so let's trade away the dude who's got like a 12 OPS plus. Like, it's not working for him at all. He probably needs a change of scenery with the bat.
He definitely needs a change of scenery. I mean, they're 16-24.
That's not impossible to come back from. I mean, the Mets 2 years ago were 10 games under
in the National League.
Into the season.
Yes, it is.
Do you guys not like this trade? Like, for me, as a Giants fan, I would
for
love
Giants,
this trade.
the Giants side, I get it from. I've said this. I get the Giants side of it.
Yeah.
I don't get the Guardian side of it.
I get both. Because
I
they already have one. They have Hedges. So this is the catcher they like, and they want two of them, and they're just going to play.
Bo Naylor was kind of this guy, though, too. Wasn't Bo Naylor? I don't know. Weren't his framing numbers good or no?
But Bailey's double anyone else in the last few years in terms of the metrics that they like.
Yeah.
Not like Patrick Bailey?
Bailey's on
not like Patrick Bailey. And the way that teams value it, I've said it before on here. I saw a presentation by the Yankees that had Mike Trout's MVP year and Hank Conger's season, because Hank Conger, if you don't remember Hank Conger, look it up. Hilarious catcher that played for the Rays, had a better season in their value because of the receiving. A better season than Mike Trout MVP season, Hank Conger was more valued. So what Patrick Bailey is doing, receiving-wise, they are enamored by it. This is a value that they think goes beyond home runs, goes beyond on-base percentage, goes beyond his 12 OPS plus. Like, it is the teams that really, really value it and find a diamond in the rough like Patrick Bailey is ridiculous. I'll even pull up his SLAA, strikes looking above average, for you here in a second.
Okay. While you're looking for it, I'll tell you, this year, AJ, 141, 207 on base, 176 slugging, for, if not the worst, a bottom three offense in baseball, even park adjusted. That is 8 games under and is, like you said, very close to thinking about selling at the trade deadline, and that would include Robbie Ray, who's free agent after this year, who knows? Maybe they even listen to offers for Logan Webb if he gets himself back on track. I know he just went on the shelf with the knee bursitis, but this could get bad really quickly. I give credit to Buster Posey for taking big swings. Some of the swings haven't worked yet, but that doesn't mean you stop. Like, should he just get timid and say, nah, you know what? The industry just loves the framing value from Patrick Bailey, and he still steals a ton of strikes. No, this team, identity-wise, needs to figure out offense. They can't afford to have an auto out, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do?
They got enough auto outs.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you. I get it from the Giants side. Why do you keep throwing
You're just saying I don't get it from the Guardians.
I don't get it. I 100% get the Giants side. Change of scenery. They get the 29th pick. They get a prospect. I got no problem with the Giants doing this. The Giants aren't my question mark. My question is the Guardians. They need offense too. He doesn't bring offense.
No.
But I think what Scott said is perfect. They're doubling down, tripling down on the defense when they have an opportunity to get this. So right now, Patrick Bailey is third in the league behind Dylan Dingler and Austin Wells. He has caught essentially the same amount of pitches. Where the next Guardians catcher is Bo Naylor and Austin Hedges are above average, but Patrick Bailey basically has caught twice as many more strikes. Strikes looking above
stolen strikes. You're saying like stolen strikes, basically. The chart we showed, if you're looking visually for our crowd, and if you're listening, I'll just describe. We showed, there it is, all of the pitches outside of the zone this year with the challenge system that Patrick Bailey has stolen. And if you look at the last few years, he has kind of lapped the field in this category, and that's why some teams are obsessed with him. But I'm just going over all the stats that the front office is like. They all have their, you know how they all have their own version of a stat? Like WAR, he's a negative WAR player this year right now because of the bat. So the Giants are like, we're good.
They signed Austin Hedges to a 2-year deal. They need offense. Everyone knows the Guardians need offense. So you send Bo Naylor down, who's a little bit better of a hitter.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a better hitter.
But a little bit less of a framer.
Yes.
And this is not a knock on Hedgie because we all love Hedgie, but wouldn't the move be to make Patrick Bailey maybe more of a platoony guy with Bo Naylor instead of Hedges?
But they already signed Hedges. If they could have gotten Bailey in the offseason.
I know that's another reason why from the Guardian standpoint I don't know that
I think they saw an opportunity where he was hitting, like his stock was so low on offense, right? That this was the time to acquire him, and now they can have him for years. And now, Hedges will ride out another year and a half with the team, but they've got two of them, and he can learn from Hedges and maybe try and switch things up and figure out a little bit of offense. If you gave, the Guardians have been on him for years, so in the offseason, if you said, hey, you can get Bailey, they would have done this trade in the offseason in a heartbeat. Okay. I think it was just an opportunity thing.
Okay.
I just think you can see I'm excited about this. I think it's a fascinating trade. I just thought it was cool when I saw it.
It is a fascinating trade. I see it from one side. I don't see it from the other, but hey, I hope it works out for both of them.
Well, this to me is more of a philosophical thing. You're looking at Cleveland like I am and saying, hey guys, like it's been cute. You've been able to keep this run going where you're mostly competitive every year. But aside from 2 years ago, they got to, was it the CS with the Yankees 2 years ago? Was that already?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aside from that, you're like, okay, now we're looking back at the World Series against the Cubs. They were a little more invested financially back then. There was a little more balance on offense. You just feel like it's the same brand over and over again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
that too. And you just don't feel like they have a chance when they get to the postseason. But
Patrick Bailey steals a strike every once in a while. They need somebody that can hit the ball over the plate, over the home. They need a guy that can go up there and hit a ball over the fence every once in a while. Bo Naylor, let's forget, did pretty well in the postseason last year.
Agreed.
And I don't know. That's why it's fascinating because they need one of them big old dudes that can go up there and whack the ball over the fence.
How much that cost?
Maybe they'll do that.
How much does that cost? Because in this trade, the Guardians haven't given away any of what they perceive as value. I mean, a minor league pitcher, if there's an organization that's like, yeah, we'll give this guy a chance in the big leagues. We'll give this guy the draft pick. I'm not well versed on how much.
No, that's a high value, Kratz. That's a high.
I get it is. I get it is. But I'm saying what's hurting this team right now, they feel like they made an upgrade. And like the story I told you about Hank Conger and Mike Trout, they feel like those strikes are equal to home runs. And I'm sorry. I
Whoever came up with that, whoever came up with that is one of the dumbest people in the history of baseball. That Hank Conger and Mike Trout are equally valuable. I like Hank Conger, nice fella, but Mike Trout back in those days was the best player in baseball, and it wasn't really that close. And now we're saying Hank Conger was more valuable because he steals a strike a game. Sorry, no.
The secret sauce is somebody who's above average at doing this.
This is the war argument. This is the war argument.
Yeah.
It's the beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Bailey's not even a high war guy, though.
You can't tell me, though. Again, there's so many of these comparisons on Twitter, on X, and all that stuff. Like, you guys know, right? You can't tell me that there was Alfonso Soriano one the other day. Alfonso Soriano was like a 30-30 guaranteed every year with sometimes 40-40 guy. And he was compared to like these two other guys. And I'm like, I'd much rather face the other two guys every day than Alfonso Soriano. They're like, well, his defense is bad. I don't care. That dude would hit me 40. He'd knock in way more than he let in. And his defense wasn't that bad.
And you can't have – do you want 3 Sorianos in the outfield? No.
No, but you can have one.
Correct.
You can have one Juan Soto in your outfield, but you better have 2 dudes that can go get it.
Well, a separate story, but the Pirates with Reynolds and Cruz right now in the outfield, it's caused a problem.
Hearn's been really good for him, though. And Cruz is swinging it, so
I know. So there's just a balance there. And also, where are the Pirates? Playing better than they have in years right now, so they're in a good spot. But wait, Bailey? I mean, this year I mentioned negative WAR. Last year, 1.1 baseball reference WAR. Year before, 1.7. Like, he's not like a 5 WAR player or something.
What did he hit last year?
Last year, he was 222, 277 on base, 325 slug, 72 OPS plus.
So he was in the 500s in OPS? 595?
602.
Oh, so, geez, sorry.
He got hot at the end of the year for that, too.
He did get hot. I remember. He was awful. I don't know.
But I think eventually they just said, Uncle, and if this team was rolling offensively, maybe it's looked at differently. But this team is struggling. Now they just lost. I mean, they optioned Ryan Walker. Webb is hurt. Like they're kind of falling apart.
Their manager goes out to the mound and takes a pitcher out, and they don't know who's supposed to come in. And they're out there going, which one? Which one?
To use.
And then finally one of the players goes, the lefty.
Adames.
One of the players on the mound, I think it was Chapman's like,
Adames.
The lefty.
It was Adames.
Adames did it.
Oh, it was Adames is out there going, lefty, lefty.
Did you see the Shawshank quote?
I did.
They're rolling through poo right now, and it is what it is. That's what's going on with this team. So they're trying to switch it up. I loved it. When I saw it for the Giants, I was like, good for you. Figure something else out. You cannot have any dead spots in your lineup because it's not good enough. And the big 3 combined right now, Chapman, Adames, and Devers, is, I think, about a 600 OPS.
Yeah, I know Devers is not.
It's been so bad. That's the real story.
Casey Schmidt's the guy that can hit.
Those 3 should have a 900 OPS.
Yes.
That's the whole difference of their season.
Hasn't done anything. No. Nader's hurt, obviously. It's been rough out in San Francisco.
Yeah. Good chat. If anyone else has thoughts, something we're missing, you're watching this after the fact, let us know. Also, Splash Hit Territory was all over this over the weekend. Most of our shows on the FT network will do emergency breaking news shows when things go down. So check out Splash Hit. Listen to FP and Susan Slusser if you want more. This was a cool one for me. So I was diving into all the articles, all the Splash Hit, the whole deal. All right, we'll be right back.
Big dog, you know how it is, man. We're always hungry. And how do we get our food? We don't want the stuff that makes our bellies hurt. We go to HelloFresh. We find out specifically what we love to eat. And guess what, Kratzy? I know it helps you out the household. Wifey is happy, and the kids are extra happy.
I'm good at 2 things. Cooking is one of them, but not trying to choose what we're going to have. I've gone 15 meals so far, and they haven't given me one repeat meal. There's so many to choose from, and they can make it easy for me.
Yeah, and I think the best part of it is for me, I'm very particular. I'm trying new things, and I'm really, really liking these things from HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/FT10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FT10FM to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. Who wants that? I know everybody would love that.
Hey, 2 minutes until the TV crowd comes back. The Reds snapped an 8-game skid on Saturday. Yeah. It was getting really bad. But then they won the last 2 in the series against Houston. And Nick Lodolo's back.
Who'd they play?
The lowly Houston Astros. Well, sometimes you need a team to kind of help you get out of
How
your
did the
funk.
Phillies get hot?
Was it the Astros?
No, who'd they play?
Giants.
Oh,
Giants
Rockies, and then Rockies
Marlins.
This weekend. Yeah. Hey, you have to beat the bad teams, though.
No, schedule matters, though. Remember, you get used. You gave us
no, I agree.
So many times.
I'm 100%
I'm just saying,
with
look
you.
at who they play.
100% with you. But I mean, eventually,
look at the Diamondbacks. Their pitching is awful. Who'd they play?
Mets.
How'd they look?
Get out of your pitching slump with the
Pretty
Mets.
good.
Great call.
Andrew Abbott's looking good. Andrew Abbott's
He is.
starting to throw a lot better. But he struck out Yordan Alvarez 3 times. First time ever that Yordan struck out 4 times in a game in the show.
Lodolo is he's always been nasty. Always, like we say.
He just can't stay healthy.
Just hasn't been healthy. But he is nasty. I mean, if you have him healthy and you're the Reds and then you get to a playoff series, you get excited when you have him. Green's going to come back, I think, in July. But they need to stay afloat, too.
Yeah.
Can't lose 8 in a row like that.
Healthy.
Well, I mean, it was against the Cubs. The Cubs took their soul in those 3 games.
They really did. That series was
Or was
nuts.
it 4 games?
4 games.
4 games.
They swept them in 4. 3 were
They
walking.
walked them off 3 times and just banged them up the 4th. Yeah, that was like one of those soul-killing games. The series.
John got hurt. Braves were playing for Bobby Cox. We're going to talk to a special guest joining us in a little bit about him. But first on the series. Braves win the series over the Dodgers. Impressive.
They played well.
Yeah.
They swung the bats really well. The Braves are good.
They're good.
If their starting pitching stays healthy and their pitching stays healthy, they're good right now.
This version of Bryce Elder.
Yeah, Sale pitched well.
Yes. Strider,
yeah.
After the first one was rocky, and they were like, actually,
Strider gave all those weird quotes about, I don't want to get a participation. Well, go out and just pitch, dude. You've been back 1 start.
Yeah.
Let's not cry too much now. Like, it's been 1 start.
Right. He looked much better. And the Dodgers offense actually has been slumping for the last few weeks. That includes Ohtani, Kratz. They haven't had a lot of slug. Mookie Betts is coming back tonight, Monday, but they needed a little bit of a spark. They almost seem like they've got the World Series hangover cruise control mode going here.
I mean, I would just say going into the series, the Braves, I know they lost their first series going into the Dodgers series, but the Dodgers were playing very poorly going into the series. And I mean, it looked like it. Right now, the Braves are playing better than the Dodgers. Does that mean they're better than the Dodgers? I'm not ready to say that, but they're playing better than them. So you talk about schedule. When you play a team matters too. Now, Snell came back a little. The Dodgers pushed Roki back. Roki's now throwing today. They didn't face Yamamoto. I think for the Braves, as hot as they are, what Olsen's doing, what Albies is doing, I think it's crazy that they're not getting anything from Austin Riley. They're not getting anything from Acuna. Well, I mean, Acuna level things. And I think they talk about a team that's on cruise control. They could be on cruise control the rest of the year. So hopefully that helps them keep their pitchers healthy, and they can go into game 1 and 2 with Strider and Sale, because now all of a sudden the Braves become a big problem.
Yeah, they have a 9-game lead at the moment. You like this
Cruise
tweet
control.
from CJ Nidkowski, who's on our show the other day, does Braves TV. He said, wins, Braves 2, Dodgers 1. I mean, he likes to have a little fun with it. Braves outscoring them, Dodgers out payrolling them. Now that pitcher on the roster thing is a whole topic for the entire season, and even was added onto from the weekend, which maybe we'll get to. But he said, despite the pitcher disadvantage, the Braves take the series. Now, no Ohtani, no Yamamoto. Every Dodgers fan watching this clip right now is like, okay, cool.
Still 1, 2 out of 3.
Yep.
In Dodger Stadium. So they got swept last year at the beginning of the year.
Yes. But what does it tell you about these two teams if they meet up in the NLCS?
Braves have a chance.
Not much. Yeah, Braves have a chance. I think we figured that.
If they get there, if they both get there. But I think you mentioned some. What is Ohtani? 4 for 33 with no homer, 1 homer and like 100 at bats.
102 plate appearances. Yeah.
The pitching. We
Not allowed to say that.
We've talked about this. The pitching is.
Dodger fans, earmuffs.
Remember when he's older now than he was in Anaheim, and it takes a toll on your. Talk to any pitcher how sore they are the next day after they pitch. Even guys that have been doing it a really long time and are in really good shape, they are like, my body is fatigued. Then I got to go out there and try and get a hit against a guy throwing 100. It's hard. That's why we don't see these guys. That's why there's only one of these guys. That's why there's only one team that has 14 pitchers and the rest have 13.
I want Ohtani to thrive, play every day, hit every day, pitch every
This is
5,
why
6, 7 days. But you
remember I
guys got
said this.
eviscerated in the offseason for talking about this.
Also-
That's what Kratz is laughing about.
Also, remember this, what I said and I've said this since the inception of Ohtani's contract. What happens if he wakes up one day and says, you know what, I just want to be a 50-50 guy now. I don't want to pitch anymore.
He's going to, just not yet. He is going to do that. Don't you think that's part of the reason why this year he wants to
Try to win a Cy Young
award? So
Maybe.
he can have that on the ledger for individual
Maybe.
accolades?
I don't know.
I think so.
How about this, AJ?
It's fascinating.
It's still worth it. To answer your question, what happens if he wants to? It's still worth it.
I know.
They probably already got the $700 million back, and they haven't even paid him yet. They're going to pay him $6 million after this year, and the numbers just keep expounding. Like, he's made $125 million off the field, and they've made $100 million, then $175 million. Like, it's worth every penny. And teams were like, I don't know if we're going to be able to go to that number. I don't know if we'll get as high as Ohtani wants it. Well, you know what? He's still the best player. Let's put it this way. Here's my question to you. He's not going to win the Cy Young because he's going to hit. It's going to wear him down, blah, blah, blah. Let's say that's a fact. He hits .230 with 15 homers on the season. Is he still the MVP?
No.
Yes. Because he's going to be in the Cy Young race. He's a pitcher and a hitter. He's the MVP. I can't.
He has to.
He's the most valuable player in the league, without a doubt.
Agreed. And he's not going to finish 230, 15 anyway.
He's
unless he
not.
gets hurt.
He's not.
If he's
It's a
healthy,
hypothetical.
yeah, if he's healthy, the numbers are, even on a down, quote, down year, are going to be all-star caliber offense. And right now, the way he's pitching is absurd, even if he makes 25 starts. But you guys are right. You were spot on from the offseason. This is what happens in the online world. We post a clip, and all of a sudden, everybody just becomes a historian and says, well, you guys didn't watch him in Anaheim. Yeah, that was a million years ago. Like, they're like, he hit and he pitched, and he was amazing. And you guys are like, yeah, that was a surgery in 5 years ago or whatever it was.
But I also know that he's learned more. He's learned more about what makes him successful to hit in this time when he stopped pitching. And to do those things, you don't just like, oh, you know what I'll do? This will be easier. I'll just hit these 50 home runs. He knows how to get into his legs. He knows how to hit, and he's not had that just extreme body just usage from pitching during these last 2 years when he was rehabbing. Yes, which is tough. Absolutely. But he's going out there and doing things at the plate that I think could get in the way of his pitching, and then his pitching gets in the way of his hitting. Like, those are things. He is a different person than he was in Anaheim. And go back and look at his numbers in Anaheim. They weren't what the level of expectation. To me, that's what he's going to do this year. There was a bet on BetMGM. Would he be over or under 50 home runs? To me, I think it's a lock that he was going to be under. Or maybe I think the number was 49.5. And it was a lock it was going to be under, just because of how much wear and tear it takes. It doesn't take anything away from this mythological beast that Ohtani is. It's just really, really hard to do.
They're going to be fine. They know what they're doing. The Dodgers know what they're doing. He knows what he's doing. He's not a young pup anymore. He had to figure himself out. And it's going to evolve as he goes.
And as you get older, it gets harder.
Yes. The Dodgers care about one thing. Healthy. I mean, obviously they want him around for the regular season, but they just want to make sure that whatever the journey is, it ends up with him in October being able to do both at his best. Because in October, they want him to pitch and hit. So on those days, they're like,
with the extra off days.
Yeah,
they also need Glasnow to come back. They need Snell to get back. They need Yamamoto to stay healthy.
Glasnow out, Snell in. Snell will be fine. I mean, this is what they do, though. Glasnow on almost any other team was not going to get IL. They even said multiple times to the media, we're not ILing him. And then they kind of look at the roster crunch. They look at Glasnow, and they're just like, why not? Just give him a couple weeks, and then someone else will be hurt. And then he'll come in, and then someone else will come out. And then he'll have 20-something starts. Because he's not going to make 30 starts.
Let's
That's
clarify
just the way the Dodgers work.
To make sure the Dodger people that are going to hate on us for talking about Ohtani struggling right now, he has a 127 OPS plus right now. Right now, the season ends. He is the MVP of the National League. Case closed.
What, the MVP?
Right now he is?
Yes. Who is more valuable than this guy?
I'm not doubting that.
I'm not saying he's more valuable. I'm just there's people. I'd have to dig in. Right now, Matt Olson. That's off the top of my head.
Is more valuable than Shohei Ohtani
to his team at this moment? Yeah. How about Drake Baldwin?
Great season. Freaking, those guys are raking right now. And
so then you're telling me as long as Shohei hits and pitches, he's going to win MVP every year. Then why even have it?
That's Kratz's argument.
I know I hate that argument. I think that's dumb. I think people need to get out of just if he has an unbelievable season like he's had, then yes, he should win. But if he has an average season, then we shouldn't just automatically give it to him.
He's 27% higher, 27% better than the league average hitter right now. 27% better.
That's not saying much. There's a lot of bad hitters right now.
Okay, but it's a 127 OPS plus. Okay. Like if you're just going by that, he has a 3.
I'm not saying he's not an all-star.
Just the bat. That's an all-star bat. 127.
And he's leader in Cy Young voting right now for the National League. MVP. Case closed.
Wow. Skeens is coming. Did you see Skeens pitch against Arizona this weekend?
I agree.
Or Thursday? When was that? Wednesday, Thursday?
Almost went the distance. But
that was,
whatever. He's 2. He's 3. Like,
I know. I'm just saying. I just don't think that we should all. Listen, I love Shohei. We all love Shohei. Okay, he's probably the greatest player we'll ever see in our lifetime, on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, pitching and hitting.
Combined.
I just don't. I hate that we just automatically.
Well, he's got to perform, but he does perform. It's a fair advantage because he pitches and hits, so he's uber valuable. He gives you the roster spot. He gives you the all-star caliber offense. He's pitching like a number 1 starter. He's insane. He's the best player ever. One more thing before we jump from the conversation between these two teams. So Mookie's coming back for the Dodgers, and obviously they'll keep getting healthier as they go with Glasnow eventually back, and Edwin Diaz will come back later in the year, so like the bullpen should look stronger. For the Braves side, Acuna wasn't in this series, of course. He'll be back maybe in a weekish. Ha-Seong Kim is
today.
About to debut.
Today, I think.
Activated. Do they play today or tomorrow? Whatever it is.
He's active. I saw where he's active.
He's back.
Yeah.
So Dubon has been one of the best pickups of the offseason. He's been that freaking good. Now you can mix and match him all over the field. They're starting to get like that deeper.
They get Riley going. Oof.
Yeah. Like what makes the Cubs special is, in my mind, is some of the depth they've got, right? Like the bench is really good. The Braves are going to have that here. That's what's good.
Impressive. They got to keep their pitchers healthy.
But that's been the thing. That's been the thing under Snitker. Everybody plays 160 games. And so it'll be interesting to see when they have Dubon, maybe in more of like the utility role. He's earned more at-bats. He's earned his at-bats once Kim comes back now. But under Snitker, every one of these dudes wants to play until they get hurt. So it'll be interesting to see how Walt Weiss deploys these guys.
There's already a new philosophy. Walt Weiss said, what is my brand going to be? And one of the pillars was that he is going to tell you sometimes you're going to sit, and if you don't like it, fight him. Best of luck.
He won't tell Matt Olson that. Matt Olson will play, but Matt Olson's has stayed healthy too. You know, right now, Austin Riley maybe should take a day. Let Dubon play, and then you get him back in there. Maybe that gets him hot, because if he gets hot, this team will be unstoppable.
And he did say everyone but Olson. Anyone else, it's fair game to take a seat every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Olsen's also proven it. He's got the streak going, and he's proven it. Like his production doesn't really dip.
Yeah.
So he's
Cubs
fine.
Braves this week, by the way.
It's
too.
going to be good.
That'll be
We're going to
fun.
get to the Cubs later. We're going to step aside for now. We've got a few minutes until we should have our guest to talk all about the late, great Bobby Cox.
He should have some Ted Turner stories too, shouldn't he?
Leo Mazzone? Yeah, he should have. That's true. It's a crazy week that both.
Some of the stuff Ted
passed.
Turner did was crazy.
We'll
It's a
see
rough,
if Leo's
rough
got
week
any
for Braves
stories.
fans.
It
Braves
is.
country.
It is. We'll talk to Leo. He's going to have some great stories for us. We'll reminisce.
Kratzy, real simple, man. When you're looking for the best seats available, where are you headed, big dog?
SeatGeek, super easy because they give us everything you need. You can look at you can look at where you're going to be sitting. I got to sit at a certain spot. I want to be able to see a whole field. I don't need to be close to the field. Got to be a little higher, out of the sun. I'm bougie that way.
Of course you are. And guess what? You have a big family and so do I. So you have to decide right away. You got to do something quick. This is real simple. It's affordable and it's fantastic for a big family like yours and mine to get seats available as soon as possible. Oh, no, yeah. You need a code? I got that for you too. You can use code Territory10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% of any tickets with promo code Territory10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Thank you, SeatGeek.
Hey, a couple moves from the weekend. The Tigers IL'd Kerry Carpenter, left a C joint sprain for him.
That was after he gave up the inside the park homer to Bobby Witt.
Was it from that play?
No, I don't know.
The Bobby Witt.
16-second inside the park homer.
Yeah, absolute freaking.
Gage Workman worked out. He hit a
Sprint.
homer his first Tigers at bat last night.
He did last night, yeah. And the Tigers picked up a much neat. I mean, whatever. It's early in the season, but they had been
They
really
struggled.
slumping. That broke a 1, 2, 3.
Verlander to the
5.
60-day, those. Because when I was there a couple weeks ago, he said he thought he was close to coming back.
It's like, you know how you need each step of the progression? It's not firing in whatever step he's at. So
I know, but Hinch said that he hit a certain mile per hour they were looking for, and they were like, okay, it's still in there. He's coming back, and then I guess he
The
didn't respond.
60-day IL, what's that? I think I saw it the other day. It's like May 27th, maybe. So it's not that far away.
Yeah, and then Ragans real quick too. Elbow impingement. We had talked about him last week, and the Royals mentioned how he might not need an IL stint, but he does. He's had trouble his whole career staying healthy. That was his thing when the Rangers traded him away. He hadn't pitched much with the Rangers, but when he's healthy, he's fantastic and can start playoff games for you. Just got to manage the arm. Who did they get?
Aroldis Chapman.
Oh,
won
right.
the World
That was
Series.
the Chapman trade. Yep. That is a great trade for both sides. That's happened with Chapman a few times.
Cubs.
Gleyber Torres. Good trade.
Both good players.
BetMGM Locks. AJ, you missed. I'm just on absolute fire right now. I'm chasing you.
Probably passed me by now.
I did pass it, yeah. I had a really dumb slow start where I couldn't figure out how to put a winning bid together, and then I hooked a win here with the Guardians on Friday. Travis Bazzana's first home run in that game. Twins creeped back, and then eventually the Guards went after the Twins. Fading the Twins the last month has been fantastic because their bullpen is so bad that it can look okay. Also, live betting them has been great. Eventually it'll turn around, but it's a bad pen.
They're competing, Scott.
They're competing,
Ooh.
yeah, but that means that they'll be up 3-1, and then you'll live bet it at plus 250, and then all of a sudden you win. You can do good things live betting, but you got to be really focused. Anyway, let's talk about tonight.
Then go first.
That's true. I get to go first.
Mr. Leader guy.
Okay, I'll go Yankees. Run line after they swept the Orioles about a week ago. They're coming off being swept by the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hopefully have time for that later, but it's minus 115. They do have the edge, in my mind, pitching matchup-wise. Ryan Weathers against Brandon Young. I just think usually some of this is feel when the Yankees go through this, and then people are like, oh,
and they played the Orioles, who they destroyed lately.
Yeah, and then they do it again. I mean, even the Yanks bullpen wasn't great this weekend. Their bullpen's fine. So I think they'll out-bullpen the Orioles. Orioles are in a tough spot right now. This is not the ideal pitching matchup, so I give the Yanks 2 runs or more on this one tonight. You?
I'm going over 9 in that game, Yankees or Orioles, because Weathers and Young, I think there'll be some – and the Yankees didn't score a ton in Milwaukee, so they're going to get hot, I think.
Yep.
And then I'm going Mariners money line at the Astros. Kirby's pitching. And I forget who's pitching for the – it doesn't matter. So that gets me to plus 234.
I love that. Doesn't matter for the Astros.
Who is it?
It's Peter Lambert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who's pitched well, but I'll take Kirby.
Yeah. And, by the way, the Mariners just lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox. They're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
And, by the way, Luis Castillo, The Rock has looked rocky.
They're figuring out their 6-man for this run. Then they might piggyback. Like, they're trying to do everything they can. You can't – what are you going to do, push them to the bullpen? I mean, you could, but –
And, by the way, Cal Raleigh.
tough to follow that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll figure it out, but Cal before last year was a streaky hitter.
Yeah, he would hit you 30, but he also hit like 200.
Yeah. So last year it all came together and it just never stopped. This year's different. Kratz, what are you doing?
I'm picking on the Angels. I'm going under 9 because the Angels and the Guardians do not score. I bought that up a little bit, and I'm taking the Guardians money line. Cantillo's out there, Joey Cantillo, and Angels haven't even announced who's going to be pitching for them. So I'm going under 9 and the money line for the Guardians plus 125.
You don't think Patrick Bailey gives them a boost on offense? That was a joke, but that's not nice.
Maybe.
It's a defense.
1-0 game.
Watch, you guys a 3-run homer tonight. 1-0 game. Wow. Okay. Parlay Pap's up, and I think he has a parlay.
What's up, my people of FT? It's your boy Parlay Pap coming to you on this Monday. Not too many games today, so I'm going with the Dodgers. You can't go wrong with the Dodgers. They're gonna win more than they're gonna lose. So I'm going with Sasaki and the Dodgers in the parlay with the Guardians versus the Angels. I'm taking the Guardians money line. So we got the Dodgers money line, the Guardians money line, the Angels. They don't even know who they're pitching today. Looks like it might be a bullpen day. So we're gonna take the Guardians on that one. And we're going to put 300 on it. We're going to be at plus 134. We're going to get about 700 back in return. We're going to get that cheese, baby. Let's go.
Good luck, Pap. We actually got you at plus 139 on that parlay. So we'll see.
Nope,
Trying to
he said
figure out
134.
139 times 3 is 700. But if you could
He put 300 down.
Okay. So you multiply 139 by 3, don't you?
He adds his.
That
he
still
adds
doesn't
what he
equal
put down.
700.
No.
His math, that Mississippi State math is something.
That's like what?
It's like 4 or something.
480 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not 7.
Not even
It's what he
140
puts
times.
down.
What's 140 times 3? That's like 420.
three,
Your favorite
yeah.
number, Scott.
420.
Giggity.
Classic. Kickity. Marley. All right. Take a swing each day. The BetMGM free-to-play game. It's only on the BetMGM app. If you get a hit, you score a reward depending on whether you get a single, double, triple, or homer. You play as the batter. You select an area of the zone. If you get a hit, you win a prize. Prizes could include $50 bonus bet, odds boost token, parlay boost token, same game parlay boost token. Go check it out. Gambling problem or concern, there's help. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Coming up next, we are very, very excited to talk to Leo Mazzone. Looking forward to hearing some stories that help heal the loss of Bobby Cox from the weekend.
Let's talk love life, FT family. I know it's an important part of everyone's life, but if you need help or if you don't, Blue Chew Gold is changing the game and it is turbocharging your love life.
That was beautifully delivered. The new arousal-boosting formula combines passion and performance into one tablet that dissolves under your tongue for super fast onset. No more waiting for a pill to kick in. No more moments ruined by performance anxiety, just the results you want when you want them. Most ED meds only focus on blood flow, but Blue Chew Gold goes further by combining 2 ingredients for blood flow with 2 more for mental arousal and connection. So you're not just physically ready, you're actually in the mood. And we've got a special deal for our listeners right now. When you buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, you get the 3rd for free with promo code FOUL. That's promo code FOUL. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Trey Turner said, that's how dumb this game is. It makes no sense. He said he probably took 1,000 swings over 4 days, including 350 on Friday, went 0 for 6 Friday, extended the hitless streak to 11 at-bats. Took 0 swings before Saturday's game, 4 for 5. Don't swing too much, kids. Is that the lesson?
There's a thing of swinging too much. I've always said it. There's sometimes, and you talk to hitting coaches, they will tell you these guys take so many swings, they put themselves into a slump. I think it was either Carlos Lee or Maglio Ordonez used to always have a thing where they would say, if you're swinging good, hit less. If you're swinging bad, hit less. If you're swinging good, hit more. Because if you're swinging bad, you don't want to reestablish bad habits. And if you're feeling good, okay, let's take a couple more because I feel good and I want to ingrain that in my brain and that feel. But then there's also people that go the other way because they feel good, they talk themselves into a slump.
Mm-hmm.
So find a routine and be consistent and do the same thing. Tell people that all the time. You got to figure out what works for you. If it's 25 swings a day, if it's 200 swings a day, which is way too many, by the way, don't do that. But just be consistent and do the same thing. Because if you're good, you'll figure it out at some point. I'm a big believer in that.
Trey took 350
That's
on
crazy.
Friday.
I'd be dead.
You're going to hurt your oblique.
I hope not.
Isn't that how the guys get the oblique injuries when they take 1,000 swings in a weekend?
Not necessarily. It's usually something
with
like a tighter hip or something like that. It's not excess swings. I mean, that's what they talk about Mike Trout. Mike Trout's probably one of the best players of our generation here, and they were like, he can't DH because he'll take 1,000 swings a day.
Hey, we're back on FT. That's not our guest, so give us a moment. Yes, we might have to swing back and work on that one, but eventually we're going to talk to Leo Mazzone. That almost looked like it almost looked like a guess who it is, right?
Where
Didn't that look
in
like
the world is Carmen Sandiego? That's what it looked like. You're like, who is this?
Most of our audience doesn't know that song.
Look it up. Look it up. What a game. That and Oregon Trail, oof, got me through 5th grade.
Carmen Sandiego was a good TV show, too. The game, and then turned into a video game. Yeah.
Computer
game.
Doubt
that's still around.
Should be.
Oregon Trail's around. I've seen it.
Oregon Trail.
Well, the original Oregon Trail was great.
Yeah, on the computer.
Before you were born.
Me? No,
Yeah.
I played Oregon Trail in.
No, but I'm talking about like
Not
before
like-
you were born, Oregon Trail. Not like
actual
I
trail?
played Oregon Trail on like a original Apple computer, and it would say
Yep.
you have got dysentery, you died, start over, and you think you're going to make it to Oregon. I don't think anybody ever made it to Oregon ever. I think it was impossible to make it to Oregon.
That's not true. Just most of the boys didn't make it because little Timmy got typhoid and half their family drowned going across the creek. And then they took all their money, pulled it together for bullets, and just shot every single animal that was out there and had like 999 pounds of meat, but didn't have any medicine, didn't have any shelter, didn't have anything to get yourself out of anything. So you died in Missouri every year.
But you ate well.
Yeah, nobody ever made it to Oregon. That was false. That was false.
I don't think I ever made it.
No, you never could make it.
That's
Every time you're like, I'm almost there, and you'd be like, oh, he died of measles, mumps, and rubella.
Yep. Typhoid.
Or your wife is
Damn
sick, you have to turn
typhoid.
around. No, I don't want to turn around.
I'll find a new one.
Yes. We're
This
almost
is
to
a whole-
Utah, kid.
This is a whole out of context, FD out of context, just a segment
Whole
for
thing.
it. Thank you, Frankie.
Yeah, well, we're working on our guest situation. By the way, you were right. I was not born when the game was invented. The game was invented. You were not born either. 1971.
No, I know, but when it came out on like the computer, it got me through like second grade. We used to sit there for hours and play that thing in like second grade. We're like, this is a computer? No
Yep.
way. This is the coolest thing ever.
It was cool.
And they were the free Apple Macs that they gave to all the schools. And people were like, why would a company give away free Apple computers? What a dumb concept. Now everybody's hooked.
Yeah. that
No,
was a
we
good
didn't even
one.
have those. We had like Commodore 64s and stuff.
Those were the computers?
Wow.
Like, yeah, like I'm talking like
Yeah.
the green and black screens that were like, like war games. That was the computers we had.
Wow.
The whole
We had
thing
one
was
computer
white,
like in the whole school.
floppy disk.
Oh, and everyone would hop on the computer to
Yeah,
play
we
the
had
game.
like one computer in the whole school.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
that's good.
It was awesome.
All right, I'm going
Throwback.
to somehow transition us here. So while we get ready for our next guest, I do want to spend a minute talking about Bobby Cox, who passed away at the age of 84 over the weekend. A legend in our sport in a variety of ways, super successful as not just a manager, he was a GM. He had just an illustrious career, super well respected, real talk, ejections, all-time leader in a category that probably will never be passed because of all the replays now. Is anybody going to get to 162? I feel like in our
Not
modern
today's
game,
Aaron Boone's going to be the closest.
and he's probably at what, like 40? I'll look it up while we're chatting. But anyway, Bobby Cox, thoughts on the late great, and obviously you spent some time in the Braves organization. Was he around?
He was.
He
a lot.
was? Okay.
He was awesome. He'd come in and just sit in Freddie Gonzalez and Snit's office and talk. He'd come in and sit in the dugout with us. He was awesome to talk to. He was one of those guys. I wish I would have got to play for him, because I think it would have been awesome. The stories I heard about spring training, he'd come to spring training and he would be around. So I think it would have been really cool to get the opportunity to play for him because of the way he treated the players. And he would literally just say, hey, just make sure you were ready to go for the game. That was kind of ready to go for the season. That was his big spring training spiel. The only thing Bobby and I would have not agreed on was he did not like kids in the clubhouse. He was very anti-kids in the clubhouse. And so I'm thankful that Freddie eventually let my kid into the clubhouse, and then kind of other guys got to bring their kids in the clubhouse.
Sure.
But Bobby was, as a matter of fact, Ken Griffey Jr. allegedly was supposed to sign with the Braves one time, but because of the no kids in the clubhouse, he did not.
Right. I remember you told that story.
So, listen, that was the one thing we would have had a problem with. But other than that, every story I heard about him, had to wear your hat forward, had to show the A, had to put your glasses on the back, had to wear a BP top for batting practice every day with pants. You had to look the part. There were days, trust me, where I was like, gosh, can we just wear shorts? It's 1,000 degrees in Atlanta. Can we just wear shorts? But it was a Braves way, and so you had to get the short pants and all that. But nothing but respect for Bobby Cox and his family. All the people that came after, with Snit and Freddie Gonzalez, they were both Bobby Cox disciples. He's going to be missed. He was an awesome gentleman and a truly, not only a Blue Jay. People forget he was a Blue Jay, but probably, he'll go down as, the best Braves manager of all time, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. He let the players play, like you're saying. Hey, like,
he had their back too. I heard so many stories.
Ready for
Chipper and those guys.
Yes. Well, we have
Chipper,
stories
Andrew,
coming up.
where they would say, hey, Bobby, he said something to me. Bobby, he wouldn't even know. They were like, Bobby'd be like sitting over there not even paying attention. And some player would come in and say, hey, Bobby, did you hear what the umpire said? And he'd just run out there and get ejected for no good reason.
Well, let's ask Leo Mazzone about it. I hear he's ready to go. Braves Hall of Famer, longtime pitching coach. Leo, it's great to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us and for just doing some public appearances right now to share stories about Bobby. I think it's important, especially for the youngsters out there, even teenagers who really didn't experience any Braves baseball with Bobby Cox. So first off, sorry for your loss. And can you just start it off with, I don't know, maybe your favorite Bobby Cox story, just to tell everyone how amazing he was?
Well, I think that, career-wise, my favorite story was when he came in and said he was going to turn an offensive-oriented organization into a pitching one. So naturally, I like that type of philosophy, right? And
yeah,
but some of the greatest stories were, he had a feel for everything. It's hard to describe. You can't teach what he had, and it was a great communication with players, front office, the farm system. I worked very closely with him from 86 to 91 or to 90 in the farm system with pitchers, developing pitchers and this sort of thing. So, but Bobby was a guy that had a great sense of humor. I mean, there was a lot of times when, well, for example, we were in Wrigley Field and we had a tough day and it was knockdown drag out, 4-4 in the eighth. And Bobby said to me, he goes, Leo, he goes, I'm going to have a coffee. This game's driving me nuts. I said, you can't have coffee, Bobby. I said, that you're going to have a heart attack. You don't need caffeine. And he goes, yeah, I do. He goes, well, what would you like? I said, well, the way this game's going, I'd like to have a beer. And he called up and said, send me down a coffee and send Leo down a beer. The clubhouse kid said, what? He goes, put the beer in a paper cup with a lid on it. So we get coffee and I got a beer sitting in my hand, and I'm looking around and Bobby says, well, drink the damn thing, and I said, well, I will, but I can't chug it. I said, it's supposed to be coffee. Well, we end up winning the game 5-4. Okay. So he didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. Next day, I mean, I know he's superstitious. So the next day, we're in a tie game again. And here he goes. Send me down a coffee, send Leo down a beer. Here comes the coffee, here comes the beer. We brought in Kent Merker in relief in the bottom of the ninth. And the Cubs' backup catcher was Hector Villanueva at the time. He takes Merck deep. We lose. And Bobby tore up the lineup card and threw it at me and said, that's the last beer you'll ever have in this dugout. So, I mean, just stuff like that. I mean, he was a manager that when I first got there, hey, Leo, put your thinking cap on. I said, yeah, what's up? He goes, well, he said, pitcher could come up with the bases loaded in the seventh inning with 2 outs. We got to decide whether to pinch hit or not. It was the fifth inning when he told me that. And I sat there and went, I'm locked in on the fifth, right? So, anyhow, things like that. But here's what Bobby did extremely well. He made you feel important. He made everybody feel important, regardless of whether you were a player, coach, man, the farm system, people at the ballpark, guys taking the tickets, everything, grounds crew. And he had time for everybody. So, and that rubbed off on everybody in the clubhouse. And, his clubhouse to me was the way it should be run. I mean, it's our place, and I think it's a personal place. And I don't think anybody, should stick their nose in it, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's the way he wanted it. So, if you had music, go ahead, play music, but put some earphones on. He says the guy next to you might not like not like it. The other thing was dress codes. When I was there, the coaches had to wear sport coat, tie, dress slacks. During the players' time, it was sport coat, golf shirt, and slacks. And he says, we play like champions and we're going to look like champions. And so that was just part of it. There were so many different things, there's a lot of he always had the players' backs. A lot of times when he had something to say to a particular player or a particular pitcher, we didn't even know it. Half the time, most of us didn't even know it. And the only one that knew it was whoever he was talking to and himself. And so therefore, if we lost a game, it was never the player's fault. It was his. And then if we won, he pointed direction to all the guys. So just a great, great man. And I knew he was something special real quick because, I'd spent 24 years in the minors and then ended up with 18 in the big leagues. And I had a couple of people that were great teachers and taught me a lot. Bobby being the head honcho. But I also had about 200 people that taught me how not to do it. And so with Bobby, you knew right away that you were somebody special. And how about this? Going to spring training, putting the pitchers first. I mean, how many times do we all go to spring training? You guys know, get the pitchers off field one, get them down to field two so we can get some real work in, blah, 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 blah. And that wasn't the case. Pitchers, no shagging in spring training. If you went and got your work done, you were done. you were rewarded for being efficient. No eyewash, no eyewash, no running crazy things with all this stuff that they do now. I mean, even then I knew that some teams were running pitchers in the outfield with parachutes on them and all that sort of thing. I mean, none of that stuff. It was just pure baseball. And every time a free agent came over, they said, man, wish we'd have got here earlier, and it's like Mad Dog, and one time we're in Pittsburgh early in 1993 when Mad Dog was with us, and Bobby saw him in Pittsburgh in the hotel room having breakfast. And Bobby says, what are you doing? He goes, what do you mean, what am I doing? He says, get your butt out of here and go to the golf course. Go play golf. He goes, you want me to go play? He says, go play golf. He said, get away from everything that you have to put up with and go through, and get out and relax for a little bit. Well, you must have hit the lottery when he told him that. So, so those types of things, treated you professionally. He respected you. He respected the game, but he could also put the hammer down when he wanted to, and that's when you wanted to get out of his way.
Where would Bobby, if he were a manager now, exactly how you two were on the bench before with you rocking and him doing what he did, where would he struggle as a manager in today's game, and where would he excel over other managers that he is the Hall of Fame manager?
Well, he would excel with handling pitching staffs. There's no question about that. In other words, for example, you talked about pitch counts, and all this stuff, and I used to have a clicker, and you hit the button because Bobby was the last one to put pitch counts or how hard you were throwing up on the board. He didn't want it up there. And so, and I loved it too, because on that clicker, I used to cheat on it a little bit, for example, Glad throw first pitch, change up, guy pop it up, I ain't counting that one, So it got to be where here's the genius, a max out inning. He had a max out inning, and we said, okay. Nobody knows what a max out inning is. I talked to coaches, managers everywhere. The max out inning, what? He had a max out. Yes. That max out inning was this. Hey, Leo, Glavin's going out for the 7th inning, right? Is he going to max out? I said, yeah, he's going to max out. That means he's going to max out his effort. Okay, Leo, this is his last inning, and we will, pitch count doesn't matter. He said, really doesn't matter. He said, we're taking him out. Then another example would be Leo, is Glavin going out for the 7th inning? Is he going to max out? I said, no, he's on normal effort. He goes, okay, then we're not taking him out, and pitch count doesn't matter. So if you look at that and the pitch counts and the amount of effort they put, wouldn't it be amazing to tell a pitching staff that today and nobody would blow out and everybody would continue on with their pitch? They would pitch and not throw. So, he had that understanding about the amount of effort you put on pitches to make to get the end result that you wanted and to get some touch on the ball, So he was a pitcher's manager, but he was also a player's manager, of course, but he would nobody could carry his what when it came to handling pitching staffs, which was a blessing to me, that's for sure.
Leo, will anyone ever get ejected as much as Bobby Cox did? It was the best. You're like, we're playing the Braves for 3 games. We know Bobby's getting run at least once in these 3 games.
Well, a couple of starting pitchers got him ejected a few times.
I know.
Maddox, one time Glavin was pitching, and most of the time he was about balls and strikes that he got ejected over. But Maddox was charting Glavin's game, and Bobby goes, Glav, how's his strike zone? Glav says, I'm working with him. He said, we'll be all right. And he says, okay. So now he walks in to talk to Maddox, who's doing the chart. Hey, Mad Dog, how's Glav's strike zone? Bobby, this umpire stinks. He's not calling nothing. He won't give Glavin nothing. And Glavin heard him, and he said, you're just getting him thrown out next inning. You know that, don't you? And Maddox goes, yeah, I know. And he's laughing his butt off, And sure as heck, the next inning, boom, ball 1, here he comes. Where was that pitch? Here we go. So, but then there was a lot of, but what was amazing? The umpires didn't hold nothing against him. everybody used to say, "Oh, if you're nice to the umpires, maybe you'll get some calls." That was a bunch of BS. You gotta let somebody know if you're not happy with them. And then there was, sometimes when Jerry Crawford would come over and say, "We can hear everything you're saying in the dugout, Bobby." He said, "And your pitchers are hitting the target, except the catcher's setting up a foot outside." So we had a lot of fun with it, and the umpires loved him. So yeah, it was. You knew it was coming sooner or later. But basically, I think, as you guys well know, it was basically over balls and strikes.
Right, all those divisions in a row. And now we're in the era where the Dodgers are just the best team. Nobody can beat the Dodgers. Do you feel like the Dodgers even hold a candle to what your team, Bobby's team, did during that span of straight division championships? Because they haven't even reached it yet. I think they just reached 10 straight division championships.
Right. No, I think if you guys sit down, you all are real baseball people. Look at this. The pitching rotation stayed together for 11 years. I mean, Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz, and then whoever else came in. Do you think a pitching staff can make 500 starts in a row and not miss a start? Or with Bobby and I together, the starters average making 140 to 160 game starts? I mean, of course not. They can't stay with you. On the pitching end of it, you cannot realize for 14 years in a row, and the health of the pitching staff, which the manager has a whole lot to do with. But they were never abused, and used common sense in how we used them. So, but it would, with Bobby and I, it was more often, less exertion. That means get on the mound more often, throw with less exertion, make the ball do something without maxing out your effort. Then in the seventh inning, when you need something in your tank, it's there. Okay. Now it's less often, rock and fire, throw it as hard as you can, and beat the catcher up behind home plate and all this sort of thing. And then I don't know about how you feel, AJ, but how they set up now would drive those guys nuts. I mean, Maddox to walk off the mound, I'm going to tell you that.
Would they? Would a pitcher be able to do that nowadays? Would a pitcher be able to come into your organization that you're running and you say, it's okay, less exertion. We know you have it in the tank. We know you can throw 90 to 90. You can throw 98 miles an hour. We want you to sit 90 to 92. Can a player in today's game do that and still keep his job, or he gets sent to AAA within 2 starts?
He doesn't get to keep his job because, I talked to a couple of agents who are good friends of mine, and they said that they had a pitcher that came out of college, and the kid went 12-7 in high A ball with low walks and good strikeouts, hits per pitch underneath it, 2.84 ERA. So he comes to spring training this year looking for go to at least AA. They sent him to low A. Okay. And so then they wanted to know, how come you're sending this kid to low A? They said, oh, well, until he hits 92 on a consistent basis, he's going to have to stay in low A. Can't move him up. That's just one example of how lousy pitching is developed today and how it's handled today. You try to take one of the guys out when we were all playing and coaching, and they had a no-hitter going, I mean, what do you think would happen? There would be a fight on the mound. And the other thing is, what really bothers me is they take a pitcher out, 4 2/3, 5 innings, hasn't given up nothing yet. But boy, what a great job. I mean, it really insults my intelligence, to be perfectly honest with you, how pitchers are handled. Okay. But the other thing is, it's like Bobby and I used to say, and this is true. You're asking about today's game. He said, Leo, you and I wouldn't last 2 weeks now. And I think that's very true. But the bottom line is this: I can't understand why people wouldn't listen to how Bobby Cox handled his pitching staff, besides the team. Of course, I'm always about pitching. And also how we work together to have a throwing program where you were on the mound more often, learning your craft, and then how he handled the pitchers and didn't abuse them. You put that all together, and everybody stayed healthy for a record amount of time. And if nobody wants to listen to that, that's their problem.
Leo, what would Bobby have done if John Sherholtz came in and said, "Hey, here's the lineup for today, and I need you to pitch this guy no matter what, this guy no matter what"? What would Bobby have said if John Sherholtz walks in and goes, "Bobby, here's the
See you
lineup"?
later. Get out of here. He said, "Get out of here," because I do remember one time where a general manager, John, who they got along great, believe me. John come in one time early in his when he was with the Braves, and after a game, and we lost a tough game, and he went in to talk to Bobby, and you heard something, and then John left, because he wanted to talk about why this or why that, and Bobby says, "You got to give me 24 hours." He said, "I'm telling you, before you come in and ask me why we did this or why we did that." And but don't get me wrong, he and Sherholtz became very close, and it was a chain of command that was hard to you couldn't break their chain of command, that's for sure. And that was another successful thing for the Braves was the chain of command. You had Ted Turner, the owner, you had Stan Kasten, you had John Sherholtz, you had Bobby Cox, you had the coach. Everybody stayed intact for a long time. Everybody worked together with the farm system to develop pitchers, players, etc. Okay, so therefore, and it was real baseball. I mean, look, I watched the last two games with the Braves and the Dodgers because I always thought the Dodgers and Braves games were something special, and it's a different ball game when it comes to pitching. And it's like scuba went down. I mean, everybody they're blowing up because they try to throw the ball so darn hard that they can't see straight. And then when you watch somebody pitch and you look at their mechanics, AJ, I'd like to ask you, AJ, when did, if a right-handed pitcher's throwing a pitch, okay, and his back leg flies to the first base side instead of a follow-through to where you're setting up, when did that start? Or a left-handed pitcher, his left back leg flies to the third base side. When we always wanted our head, our upper, going straight to where you were setting up. That's not, they don't even come close to that anymore. I mean,
Max
and
effort,
you know what?
Leo. Max effort.
Control
All they want,
suffers.
max effort. How hard can you throw?
Yeah, it's max effort and how hard you can throw. And you know what? I guess nobody cares. There's, you set records now for guys blowing out. But here's what's the problem is too, is these kids are being taught that now from the time they're 12 years old all the way up. So therefore, when you asked me earlier, could you get your point across with more often, less exertion? They wouldn't know what the hell you were talking about, to be honest with you.
True. I'm not even gonna. We need Smoltz to chime in on this because he's the Tommy John effort king, not me. I'm just here to listen to the stories, Leo. It's been a rough week in Braves country, not only with Bobby but also with Ted Turner. Do you have any Ted Turner stories you can share? You weren't there yet when he managed, right? Were you there when he?
No, not
were you there when he did the cash drop? Remember he did the cat and people were stuffing the money in their shirts, and he did the roll the ball down the line with the nose trick with Tug McGraw.
In spring training, you'd be the coaches would sit outside the dugout, and so we're playing a spring training game. We're getting hammered, and Mike Bilecki's getting hammered. Mike Bielecki, to me, he revitalized his career in Atlanta, and what he did was he had made the club. I mean, he was on the team, but we're just trying to get him through an inning or so. And I felt this tap on my shoulder, and it was Ted. He goes, "Hey, Leo." And I said, "Yeah, Ted." He goes, "Can that guy pitch?" I said, "Ted, he's on our team." He goes, "Well, all right, okay." So anyway, and then one time he came flying across behind the dugout in West Palm Beach and had his entourage with him. And I heard him holler, "Okay, nobody picked their nose. We're on TBS today at 105. So everybody watch themselves." But he was a great guy. And before our first World Series, he said, he came in and told us, he said, "I want you guys to go out and have fun because I'm not firing nobody." So
it seemed
things like that.
But
and the great owner, a guy that lets you do your job. Bobby Cox lets you do your job. Then they didn't tell you how to do it. If you get it done. This is what you're here for. This is what we hired you for. So we got it done for a long time. And like you guys said earlier, is the Dodgers close to that yet? Not yet. Not yet. Not at all.
Yeah, it's just an incredible run. and I could listen to the stories all day. We
How
got
many calories, Leo? You think if you wore one of those Whoop things or like the Aura rings, how many calories you think you burned every game?
With the rocket.
With the rocket.
Well, I didn't even know I was doing it half the time, but TBS made it great. Locked in. I didn't know I was doing it half the time. Then half the time, Bobby would look at me and goes, "Look, you're driving me nuts. Okay, just quit it. I said, "What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing." He goes, and so, but we had a lot of fun with it. I didn't know we were doing it half the time, and I did it from the time I was a kid. So it's just when your wheels are turning, people do things different. My wheels were always turning, trying to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And the bottom line was, I used to tell the pitchers all the time, guys, here's the only goal I have for you. Go to the post when it's your turn, and the rest will take care of itself. And in the meantime, I'd be sitting there making sure that everybody, the health factor was the big thing for me, because I knew with the talent that we had, if they stayed healthy, we weren't going to lose, and we weren't going to have a losing streak either with the horses we were running out there in a 5-man rotation, And also, can you imagine a pitcher coming to Bobby and saying, I'd rather come back a day early than be set back a day? That's do you have a pitcher in mind in today's game that would ever say that? I don't think so. I think the two best pitchers actually in the game today are in Los Angeles. They're both from Japan.
That's true. I was going to say the only one I can think of is Yamamoto, who's like in the postseason. Yeah. I'll pitch every day if that's going to win it for us. But it was such a unicorn performance for him. Well, Leo, this was great. Thank you so much for sharing the stories. I know you'll pop up on some other shows too, and then I know you're going to deliver some of this at the funeral too.
Yeah, right. It'll be a light presentation at Bobby's funeral, but we'll get him laughing. I was just down at his house 2 weeks ago, and we were telling stories, and the first thing he said when I got through the door, he was trying to say it, and his wife Pam said, "Let Leo get through the door before you get him his vodka and club soda." So we had a great time, and I've saw him a lot in the last few years. I go down we drove from South Carolina to his house at least twice a month, and it was great therapy for him. But to be perfectly honest with you, it was great therapy for me.
Oh, I can imagine. And also, I mean, he overcame a lot in the last, 5-6 years. I've been following, all the health struggles and how he would overcome them. So there's a lot of great articles out there right now too. Leo, thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
Apologies, thinking about you and the whole family there for the loss, but it really means a lot to share. Thank you.
It means a lot to us too. And, it's nice talking real baseball.
Exactly. That's what we do. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Tell us what it was like playing with Tiger Woods. You are a world-class athlete. What was it like playing with arguably the greatest player of all time?
I'll tell you, I've never actually told this story on anything, and I think this will be the greatest story I tell was, I got a chance to play with him a couple times. I was 22 years old, and it was incredible. I grew up my whole life watching this guy, and I'll never forget pulling into Isleworth the first time and seeing him on the range, and it was probably the most surreal moment of my life. I've been lucky enough. I've met President Bush, President Obama. I was not nearly as starstruck as I was when I met Tiger Woods for the first time. But what the coolest Bobby Cox story is, guys, is Bobby during spring training loved us to play golf, loved this. We were playing the Yankees at 1 o'clock on a day game, and I was 22 years old. I had been playing for 3 months as a starter. I was not going to go up to Bobby and be like, "Hey, I need the day off," right? But he comes out to stretch and goes, "Smoltzy said you had a chance to play with Tiger today. There was a 150 tee time." And I'm like, "Bobby, I'm fine. I'm playing today." He goes, "No, I'll make you a deal." He said, "After your first at bat today, run through first base and kind of rub your ankle a little bit like you hurt your ankle." And he's like, "In 2 days, we're going to Bradenton." And Tim, you have to have 3 starters make a road trip.
Sure.
And he's like, "I hate Bradenton's infield. I don't want to get any of the guys hurt. So if you go to Bradenton, I'll let you go play with Tiger today." So sure enough, man, we're playing the Yankees, 13,000 people in Orlando. I ground out the first at bat. I run through first and I start, rubbing my ankle. And, Bobby, he waddles out there with his cleats and he checks on me. I run inside. I literally throw my golf clothes on. I didn't shower.
I get to the golf course, and they're on the first fairway. So I hit my tee shot. We end up playing 27 holes. And about 4:30, my wife sends me a little thing that there was an update that said Frank Court day-to-day with a high ankle sprain. And I'm out there playing hours with Tiger. So the best part is the next day I didn't have to do anything. I came in like iced my ankle and all that.
Hey, we're back just for a quick sec to tell you about our newest show on the FT Network, Dirt from the Dugout. They have another episode going down tonight live, and it is Roger Clemens. I mentioned how they're going to have big guests every week, so rocket. Joining Justin and Carl Ravitch. So make sure you subscribe to it, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you go on there to see more info about how you can catch the episode live and ask questions. But otherwise, if you don't, you can catch it after the fact. So Roger Clemens this evening. Coming up next, Marty Caswell to talk about the Padres. Hey, we're back. We're getting ready to talk to Marty Caswell when the TV crowd returns in like 3 minutes. Kratz also left. We fired him again. He's a high school baseball coach, so he's got the end of his season rolling here. Did you see this posting from the Red Sox about the medical staff job that they have?
I did not, but I heard about it.
Yeah, so it says like the medical staff of the Red Sox provides the highest quality of care to our players to maximize blah, 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 blah. They're hiring a minor league seasonal assistant athletic trainer for the remainder of the season, the position located in Worcester, Massachusetts, with the option of Fort Myers after the draft. And the hourly rate is $15. So you have some type of training, medical type background. Mm-hmm. You're taking care of players that you invest millions of dollars in the organization. I just didn't know that that's a $15 an hour job.
I thought they got paid more than that, but it is assistant athletic trainer.
Sure.
I think they're just kind of, well, I was going to say they were kind of hoping for maybe somebody right out of college that was just looking for their first job. Maybe that's what they're looking for. But still.
But like you're dealing with some players and...
Well, if you're going to Worcester, that's AAA.
Those are players that...
And if they're going to Fort Myers, that's usually until November, that means instructional league, which usually means that's their prospects.
So my point is, if someone's got an issue... You've got a lot of responsibility in your hands.
Let's sign up for it. Maybe we'll get it.
Got a shot,
we could get the inside scoop on what's going on in that organization.
Yeah. Well, also, we could see, like, what's the background for that? I mean, it's not like you did 10 years of school and then you pop out to do that job.
That's what I'm saying. You never know.
So maybe we do have a shot and we can hang out in Fort Myers
I know
for a few
Breslow,
months.
he won't text me back, but I know him.
So maybe you apply and then that's how you get his attention. He's like, is this the Pierzynski that played 20 years in the show?
It's weird because I'll see him and he's super nice, but then I'll text him like happy birthday and he doesn't respond.
Wow.
I don't know. It's weird. I like Craig. I really like Craig too when I played with him. I really did like him.
He's a different man these days. And he's also feeling the heat. You know what? It could be a little bit of, what is it, like Shallow Hal. You go to the Red Sox and then eventually you move on like Chaim Bloom, and now you're running a team that's supposed to be in a rebuild and they are in contention at the moment.
Maybe.
Some of the former Red Sox managers and GMs are living a good life at the moment.
Charrington?
Better now. I mean, it was rough for a while, but better now.
Who else was?
There's
Theo?
some others.
Oh, Theo's back.
Right, Theo's back there. Tito?
John Farrell?
No. Hey, let's talk Padres, or Friars, shall I say. Friar Territory host Marty Caswell joining us right now. Absolutely fantastic on Friar Territory, and catch one of the latest episodes that I was listening to with Ty France on there. Marty, great to see you. How are you, and how was the weekend for the Padres?
The weekend was saved by Nick Castellanos thanks to his 2-out, 2-strike, game-tying 2-run homer in the 9th inning, saving what would have been an absolute disastrous weekend for the Padres, in which they only mustered 14 total hits against the St. Louis Cardinals, which is like their worst they've ever had in a 4-game series. So they got the win, which is the most important thing, man. But the same questions still exist when it comes to the Padres offense. It's just remarkable to me that here on May 11th, 28th in team batting average at .223, 27th in OPS, 20th in home runs, and Fernando Tatis Jr., excuse me if it sounds like Groundhog's Day, is still looking for his first home run. So they split with the Cardinals, which is good news. But man, the same questions still persist about this Padres offense.
Marty, which set of eyes do I look into when I'm talking to you? Did you wear that hat on purpose to confuse me?
I did not. I love this. It's a Monday. This is my Monday hat. I'm having a really, really bad hair day today. So this is the Padres Single A affiliate, the Lake Elsinore Storm, where just a couple of weeks ago, I saw Lucas Giolito make his first rehab start for the Padres. But you can look, yeah, right here. There we go. I love this logo. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it just confuses me. You know, sometimes us Polish folks, we get confused easy. So I didn't know where to look. How are the Padres doing this? I mean, they're right there with the Dodgers. I know their pitching's been really good, but their hitting has been inconsistent, I guess would be a nice way to put it. Tatis has 0 homers. Mm-hmm. You look at the lineup, Machado wasn't off to a great start. So are they just doing this literally with pitching and timely hitting? I mean, Nick Castellanos, that was an epic at-bat yesterday.
It was an epic at bat. You know, that's a great question. How are they doing it? I think Craig Stammen is looking for those answers as well when we ask him, you know, daily in postgame, like, how are you guys doing this with the offense this bad? And I know Tatis gets all the blame or all the attention because he has 0 home runs and 140 plus at bats, but Manny Machado is off to like the worst start of his career. He's only batting 191 right now. He had been over 0 for his last 24. They're not getting any production from the big 3 that you're expecting to really carry this offense. Tatis, Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado combined 221 average with 10 home runs. They're getting it from their bench pieces, like Nick Castellanos in a new role with a timely home run yesterday. Gavin Sheets has had some big moments. Miguel Andujar, who's getting a lot more playing time. Ty France, who's taking over at first base. That's how they're doing this, and they're getting it with their pitching. They have, as you guys know, the best closer in baseball, Mason Miller. The challenge for the Padres has been getting a lead to their bullpen. Jeremiah Estrada is back. He sets up, you know, Jason Adam and Mason Miller. So if you have a lead, you feel pretty good with the Padres. They just haven't had that as of late. But Scott and AJ, if you had told me before the season that at this mark, the Padres would be 24-16, tied with the Dodgers in the NL West, I think Padres fans would take it. The concern has been the offense has been unconvincing because you can't expect your bench to carry you throughout the course of the season. They've had the second easiest strength of schedule in baseball to this point. They'll have a tough series with the Brewers coming up, then to Seattle, then home versus the Dodgers for the first time, and the Phillies. So they've got to figure it out offensively because you can't expect your bench to be your biggest strength moving forward.
Marty, I tell you what Craig Stammen's not doing. He's not looking for a reason. He's just enjoying the ride. Trust me, he is not. He's not looking. Did you ask him how are you doing this? He's like, I don't care. We're just winning games, and let's just stick to it. So yeah, baseball people are weird. We're crazy. We're kind of superstitious a little bit. So trust me, he's not looking for answers. He's just like, we're just enjoying the ride.
Yeah, we're finding a way. His exactly what he said yesterday is we're finding a way to win these games. And he says every single day we're gonna hit. You know, these guys are too good not to hit. So we'll see what happens. I will mention this kind of surprises me that as you're looking for production, you want Merrill, you want Manny, you want these guys to go ahead and carry the team. But a guy they've missed, which is surprising, is their catcher, right? Can't overlook the catching position, right, AJ? Luis Campusano was given his first real chance to be an everyday guy or a platoon guy with Freddie Fermin, Craig Stammen, had a lot of faith in him, and he was really productive. So a bit of a hit when he fractured his toe last week. He's on the IL. We know that Jake Cronenworth is on the concussion list as well. So the Padres have some pieces out there that maybe will impact this lineup, but they're finding a way. They're finding a way because they are getting just enough production from their bench guys. And you're hoping that one of these days, their core will figure it out offensively.
To me, Marty, I think the identity of the Padres has shifted. Last year, this team didn't have much pop. And now we have a season where the bullpen looks dynamite, right? And starting pitching wise, even at the back end, Walker Buehler putting together nice starts. Randy Vasquez, what he's done to transform his career has been cool. Giolito's coming soon. Michael King's been great. So we're adding up all of these names on the pitching side. And I'm like, is this team just a pitching identity organization at the current time frame, even though there are notable names in the lineup card? It's not like it's just, the first couple months of the season. And obviously, Machado wasn't like this last year. Tatis wasn't like this last year. So some of that will come along. But as we're looking at some of the ranks, it's like they're towards the bottom. So even if they get into a better place, I still think this is like a pitching team, a team that wins by pitching and maybe just enough timely hitting like you're mentioning.
Scott, so much conversation leading up to this point was that the Padres would need to go ahead and add an arm, right? If they want to go ahead and be deep playoff contenders, you can never have enough starting pitching, especially when, Nick Pivetta's on the injured list. No idea when he comes back, when or if he comes back. Same for Joe Musgrove. Michael King has been, he's his own harshest critic, but he is showing that he can be an ace. Randy Vasquez, better than anyone expected, except maybe his pitching coach, Ruben Niebla. Walker Buehler yesterday probably had what Stammen said was his strongest outing of the season. Buehler only gave himself a B+. Set for him, he's mentally in the right place, but he's got a lot more to go. Giolito, I think, could join the Padres this weekend when they are in Seattle. So yes, the pitching has been a bigger strength. I still think that right now a bigger point of concern is going to be the offense. But to your point on the identity, I think that the Padres rotation has been a more pleasant surprise than anyone expected. We already know how good this bullpen is. So that's actually a position of strength, might be their pitching. You can't have enough starting pitching. Again, we don't know what to expect from Lucas Giolito and his velocity when he does rejoin. But to your point, Scott, the pitching absolutely has been their identity. It's been their biggest strength, in my opinion.
Marty,
where's Joe bench too?
Where's Joe Musgrove? I feel like he hasn't pitched in years. Where is he? Do we have an update on Joe Musgrove? You don't even hear anything about him anymore.
Well, he's there, but I know when he joined Darren and I in Friar Territory out in spring, and this I think was before he threw a rehab game against GB, Great Britain, ahead of the World Baseball Classic. That was the Green Bay. I'm sorry, I'm in football mode for whatever reason, but that's the last time that Joe Musgrove pitched, and I think that he was so excited, right? His first time in real game action, and then he had the setback. So he is not throwing a baseball right now. He's not really. He's around the team. He travels with the team. He's rehabbing, but right now, there was no timeline on Joe, and I know he's frustrated talking about it because he spoke about it so much last season. Every week we'd say, "Hey Joe, do you think that you can make a playoff push? Can you join this team? Where are you in your rehab?" But right now there is no expectation for Joe Musgrove. There is no timeline for Joe Musgrove. Stammen's been pretty optimistic that he will return to the Padres at some point, but it would be shocking, I think, to me if the Padres saw him anytime before the All-Star break. So right now, no timeline with Musgrove and Pivetta. I think if you're the Padres fans, you have to look at his potential return as an added bonus, an added boost to this rotation. But there's no guarantees as to what Joe Musgrove can be when he does return to the Padres. But he's around, but not throwing.
That's wild. I just remember him being one of the workhorses for a few years, and then hasn't pitched much. So
when is the last time he pitched?
March 4th.
No. Well, in a real game. Not against the sucky Packers, like in a real game.
Significant innings. It's been
24.
24. He made 19 starts. Yeah, he hasn't pitched. He didn't pitch last year.
We're going on almost 2 years.
Yeah,
he hasn't made 30 starts since 2022.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going on almost 2 years since he's pitched at all.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a minute.
Wow, that sucks.
Getting into like the where McCullers didn't pitch for years. It's kind of getting into that territory.
And Darvish is done, right? Darvish officially done. Do we know that?
He hasn't officially announced his retirement. I actually saw him. He's on the restricted list. So I saw him briefly at Petco Park at the start of this homestand. So he's still around this team, but he's not doing anything. And there's been no announcement for him on whether or not he plans to pitch again. We know, I mean, he's not back this season. And who knows, if there's a lockout, maybe you take all of next season out too. So we'll see. His kid, his oldest kid, Shohei Darvish. What a great name is that? Shohei Darvish is actually pitching for USD baseball team here in San Diego. So we'll see. Maybe he'll enjoy, being a dad to his kids and watching his son do his thing.
Yeah, he's made plenty of money. I hope his kid makes it too. Shohei Darvish.
Shohei
I'm in
Darvish.
for Shohei Darvish starring in the bigs. That's a great name. Marty, awesome catching up with you. As always, really appreciate it. Love what you are doing on Friar Territory, listening all the time. Thank you for joining us. Good catching up.
You too, Scott. And by the way, I'll give you a compliment right now. Mason Miller and I talk about his appearances on Foul Territory all the time. And he says that Scott Braun is the glue. And we both decided you have a wonderful voice. You've got a great voice for radio. And AJ, you've got a great voice too. You're the best.
Wow. Yeah, but the difference is, Marty, I have a face for TV. Scott has a face for radio. See?
What about hair?
See how it works? My hair is fabulous. I just don't ever want to comb it.
I didn't say your hair is bad. I just said at least I got some hair for.
That's why you don't wear a hat.
I don't have a face for TV or radio. It's a face for.
You have a voice for radio, Scott. We found your next good job.
Great voice. Great voice for radio. I
appreciate that, and that means a lot. So thank you, Marty, and thank you to Mason. I'm sure we'll get him back on in a few weeks. Marty, we'll catch you soon.
Sounds good. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Little data dish. We're going to start to mix in more of the inside edge stats that we put at the bottom of the screen on the crawl. So would you like me to throw a few your way? You know Who is leading this month in slugging? So like who's the hottest hitters power-wise?
In May?
Yeah. I mean, it's a short sample, but
I mean,
it's a Yankee.
Ben Rice? Judge?
No. That's why it's like a little different. I feel like he hasn't gotten much attention, but he's been good.
Cody?
Yeah. Cody Bellinger. And he's living the life in terms of the lineup. Like he's looking around to him going, damn.
Yeah.
Guys are raking. They have to pitch to me.
Yeah. They have to throw me strikes. Exactly.
That was a perfect marriage. I know it took a while in the offseason. They did the whole Boris Cashman stare down, but he's a good Yankee.
Yes.
They always need it. Remember for years, it's like they need to get more athletic. They need some versatility. Like he
needs some left-handedness.
He can blend in with the crew, right? He doesn't have to be the top dog there. It's just like a good spot for him to do his thing. So that's one. What else did I want to throw your way? Oh, best American League team on slugging percentage versus pitches out of the zone. So teams, some teams don't preach this, and it's actually interesting, the team that is okay with this and having some success with this right now. And some of this has to do with Junior Caminero, but it's the Rays.
So it's the Rays. I was like, where's he going with this? Okay, I know.
Well, in the interest of time.
By the way, did you see the thing with Junior Caminero yesterday? Was it yesterday? And Peyton Tolley struck him out and and Caminero looked at him. I mean, I think Tolley was just having, because didn't Junior hit a freaking bomb off him earlier?
So apparently there was a whole thing to it and I did not focus on this.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
I think this is Sunday, right? Because this was Mother's Day, and I think Tolley, there's something to do with extra special for mom kind of situation on the celebration. I don't know. Mom might not be here. I don't know. Don't quote me on all that. But there was something to a backstory there, and that's why some people on socials were like, "Hey, Junior doesn't know the backstory there." Which, hey, that happens all the time. Yeah. Players do something, and then the other side doesn't know that there's more to it, and it has nothing to do with them.
Also, if Junior Caminero is going to celebrate the way he celebrates when he hits a home run, if someone punches his ticket, you got to be okay with it.
Yes, correct.
I'm sorry. Like
Junior is the ultimate celebrator.
That's what I'm saying.
And I freaking love it, but
I love it too.
And Tolley did. He unfortunately, his mom passed recently in the past year or two. So a weekend like this really is special, and he's going to do his thing.
There was one guy who didn't wear any pink. Did you see who that was?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's an off the field combo, huh? There was some juice from the weekend, spreading rumors. We're going to start with Jon Heyman writing about Pete Alonso divorcing the New York Mets in the offseason. More like the other way around. The Mets saying, nah, we're good, Pete. So the title of the article is Maybe Pete Alonso had a point with the sharp dig at David Stearns flipping formulas. Did you see this?
I did. I loved it.
So Pete told Stearns when they were conversing at a Tampa club meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Steve Cohen and Stearns, and
this was before last year, though.
Right, this was the year before that, but this was kind of leading up to that divorce.
This was in 2025, yeah.
Yeah. He said, when my career is being evaluated for the Hall of Fame years from now, you'll still be fiddling with your flippin' formulas. Only he didn't say flipping. That's what Jon Heyman wrote, word for word.
I love it. He's right.
He looks really good right now.
Him. You're worried about a formula, and you're worried about this, and you're worried about that. How's the formulas working out for him right now?
You're also able to, I mean, everybody uses
formulas,
their background data and proprietary this, that to evaluate. That's all good. But sometimes you got to just look on the field and be like, yeah, that's working for us. This dude likes this place, hits here, probably would take a little less to stay here. Yeah.
His fans love him. He's an icon. He's the all-time leader in home runs.
Beloved.
So I'm saying.
Brings a little lightheartedness.
Brings something to the table.
Yeah, to situations. So I know he got off to a slow start, but now he's started to pick it up, and I'm not concerned. You know?
Yeah.
First year, you switch teams, you try and do too much, whatever, but the OPS is already in the mid-sevens, and I'm sure we'll be on its way to the 800 plus.
Fine.
Yeah.
First time switching teams.
They damn sure could
First
use
time
him.
switching teams. It takes a little bit. I'll say this. I had this conversation with Bo Bichette in New York this year. First time he's ever switched teams.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Mm-hmm. It not only is it because you're switching, and especially it's even more when you get paid a lot of money as a big free agent. Now, if you get traded, it still hits you because you're like, man, that team didn't really want me, but at least the team I went to does. When you're a free agent and you sign a big contract, then you're even more because you're saying, man, they really wanted me. I got to perform, and I got to outperform what I've done. It usually takes guys a little bit of while. First time for these guys.
It is. And, hey, the guy who's handling some first base lately, Mark Vientos, is really starting to heat up too. But
I mean, he had a couple good games.
Yeah.
How'd it go in Arizona?
The point stands not as good. The point, well, he won them a game or two, but
he won them a Friday night game.
Yeah.
But no,
in the past week,
he can't just be him.
No, it can't be him. And again, still, they could use Vientos and Pete, and they could figure it out. That's just the construction of the team has been a mess, and so that leads us to the next rumor. This was from one of the Chicago radio stations. They were saying that there were already conversations going down with the Cubs and the Mets on trade talks. It's very early. Apparently, a few GMs have spoken publicly saying that the trade conversations have gone down way earlier this year, and we saw Patrick Bailey just get moved. The Mets aren't trading Freddie Peralta this month. But could they trade him in June if they're 15 games under? Absolutely.
I would think there'd be some other guys they'd want to move first.
Well, Clay
Luis
Holmes,
Robert.
Luis Robert?
Oh, wait, no. The crowds are too big. No.
You're never going to let him
small
live
in New
that one
York,
down.
so now he's hurt. Wait, no. What was it? He was so excited. I actually made this joke with Mendy. He didn't think it was very funny, but that's funny on Saturday.
Well, that's because it's not going well. But
no.
The rumor is obviously the Cubs are going to talk to any team that has a starter since they lost a few and they're on freaking fire in every other facet of what they're doing. So they're going to ask the Mets about Freddie, Clay. They're going to ask the Marlins about Sandy if he's available.
Council knows him too. Council knows Freddie very well.
Yes.
His Milwaukee days. He looked good in that Cubby blue, but I don't want to see it.
Freddie,
personally, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but if Freddie doesn't agree to an extension with the Mets, takes two to tango, and the Mets are not in a good spot, he's getting traded. No doubt.
So should Clay Holmes.
And both of them are pitching well, and you can get a lot for them. This is going to turn into a different version of it. But remember, the Mets were supposed to be sick, and they had the super high payroll, and then they traded Verlander and Scherzer.
Mm-hmm.
This could be that. They could be, as Ken calls it, the belle of the ball. Those are 2 playoff starters.
What other options could they trade?
Most of the rest are not tradable. I mean, if you just go through the lineup card.
Soto, Robert, Beatty,
Lindor.
Beatty,
Semien.
By the way, they don't know when he's coming back.
Who?
Lindor.
He's got the bad calf issue.
Apparently.
Soto had the more minor one. I always say this on our show. Some guys miss a lot of time. The calf can get really tough.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Who else they have? Semien's not tradable. I guess Vientos would be a guy.
Do you really want to trade for a Mets bat? You want an arm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, how about bullpen guys? I mean, Devin Williams isn't tradable right now. Luke Weaver's not doing great.
Yeah, and maybe one of those 2 catches fire and then becomes
But didn't they sign multi-year deals, both of them?
I think so.
Yeah, so they're not going anywhere.
Williams isn't getting traded. He's getting paid a lot of money, too. That's a tougher deal. No, the 2 prizes could be Freddie P and Clay. And yes, some people were trying to dispel this and be like, this is super early. People are just throwing it out there. There might have been – these conversations go down nonstop, right? Teams call – like it could just be a call like, hey, who could be available if you suck in June? And then they're like, Clay and Freddie. Oh, what – if they were available, what are you thinking? You know, this is how teams prepare for the trade deadline, so they don't just show up and they're going, wait, which prospects do we want? But the fact that we're even talking about this is kind of crazy. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Early trades do happen. This is very early, but
I'm just trying to think how the Mets can get back into this. I just don't know, because the Phillies are now playing better, so that really puts a damn. I mean, the Cubs are going to make the playoffs, Dodgers are going to make the playoffs, and the Braves, unless a disaster strikes, are going to make. So there's 3 already.
So you have 2 from the AL East. You have the Dodgers and probably the Padres from the NL
so you're
West.
At 5 already, and all the teams in
Plus
the
Cubs.
Central are above 500.
All of those, one of them probably will withstand the summer and be good, and that's
so
it.
Those are 6.
Those are your playoff teams. Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know how they do it.
The question I always have is, do you see this team making an insane run? Right? Like
Not
last
the way
year
they're constructed right now.
I don't either. I don't see it.
Unless something really changes. Unless Lindor comes back and is on fire. Robert comes back, is on fire. Let's not forget, Luis Robert, when he got hurt, he wasn't doing very well either.
No.
He got off to a great start, and then he just went.
The deeper you get into a season like this, you have to start playing like 98 win ball, right, on that pace during like this shorter time frame, and it gets really challenging.
Yes.
That's what happens here. So is it impossible? No, with the amount of wild cards you have these days, but it is not likely. So that's why, you know what we do. We cover the trade deadline very well with all of our insiders. So stay tuned on that front. We'll swing right back.
That was his next step. Honestly, I think, look, Miz was serving him up to the Yankees right there, extra crispy. They had no chance, man. It was incredible to watch. And he got to a couple 3-2 counts, but I mean, he came out ahead, I'd say probably 70% of the time of those 3-2 counts. Grisham, obviously, the leadoff walk, and I think that was the 5th or the 6th inning. And I mean, he had a couple moments in there where he's getting late into the counts, but look, other than that, dude, he had to throw a lot of pitches because he was getting so many swings and misses. The slider was 96. All the curveballs I saw were 87 to 88 miles an hour. I mean, this is some elite stuff, man. And props to you, JP. We'll go right to you because I know that you have been saying this guy's Scooble Skeens-esque, and it is, man. What do you got?
I mean, yeah, I think he solidified himself in that tier. I mean, I don't think he's with them in that tier yet. I think he's just below them because we need to see like a full year out of him.
Yeah.
But I mean, tonight's outing showed against one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in baseball. I think every single guy walking back to the dugout after the 11 punch outs was like, that has to be some of the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen. I mean, I'm sitting there laughing, watching it, and I'm like, oh, he threw a slider at 96. Oh, slider at 97. I'm like, that's faster than any fastball I've ever thrown in the big leagues. So, like, he's doing stuff
me too.
that's like
Me too, brother.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's just it's incredible. Yeah, I mean, look at the 103, 10. It's insane.
And he his fastball to Judge there in the last inning was on the 0-2 pitch was just dotted up on the outside corner. No one's able to touch that.
And I kind of like that he shows emotion too. I know some people are like, oh, that's so like it's just not like pro or anything like that. But he's only in his second year, Yeah. I mean, those are big outs for him to show like, and he's been wanting to prove himself that I can go into the 6th inning, I can go into the 7th inning and get guys out.
The TV crowd, including Marquee, the Cubs fans, are about to say bye to us. So I think we should just talk about the Cubs for 45 seconds.
They're hot.
2 10-game winning streaks by the 40-game mark. Now they're at 41 games. But that's tough to do.
Playing unbelievably well at home. That stupid song they play all the time. I hate it. But they're playing well. But they're going to get their come up and just on the weekend when they have to play the mighty White Sox.
When is that?
This weekend.
Friday, it's this
Saturday,
weekend.
Sunday, yeah. Rivalry weekend, Scott. Rivalry weekend.
It's better. I mean, the Cubs are soaring and the White Sox are better than they've been the last few years.
To watch.
It'll be a much more fun series. Murakami.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's going to hit like 4 homers this weekend.
Or he's just going to hit a home run in the first game of every series ever.
Well, we know that.
All right, we're staying on for a few minutes, and then Dodgers Territory is going to roll in live. We played a clip during one of the breaks for the YouTube audience with Brewer Territory. JP Fireeisen and Corey Knebel were talking to Kurt Hogue about the Miz. That was impressive. He was dialing it up adrenaline-wise against the Yankees on Friday, and they swept him.
Big weekend for the Brewers. Pitching-wise, you got Turang hit the walk-off homer.
Mm-hmm.
Mother's Day, pretty cool.
Did you hear what Judge said about Turang?
Mm-mm.
He said in BP he can hit the ball further than him, and he wishes he had him on his team.
Wow. Is that tampering?
It kind of is, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, the Miz. Oof. The funny part is the hardest pitch Miz threw got hit.
The lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Judge connected on 104.
Judge. Miz was like, okay, watch this, suckers.
Yeah, facing the big boys is
First
when
inning.
he really dialed it up. In the first inning. The first inning was out of control. It was like watching Mason Miller. Obviously, they're very different looking pitchers, but that's Mason Miller velocity in the first inning from the starter.
Mm-hmm. And he was throwing strikes, too.
And he was throwing strikes. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, this is his first
He's becoming
full season.
almost, I don't want to say he's becoming much watch TV, but it's becoming fun to watch when because either he throws it really hard or something crazy happens. Never know what's going to happen.
And you know how there's certain guys fun to watch, like Imanaga just has so many antics and facial expressions. Miz has that too, more of like the little kid vibe. People say he's like a Pokemon nerd or something like that. And you feel that when he's out there, he's just a big dude and having fun with it. A little bit, I don't want to say naive, but just like new, he looks new, but he's like, oh, I have a secret weapon and nobody else has this kind of velo. Yeah. So it was a fun watch. That series was a fun watch. Contreras had the walk-off sac fly. They had 2 walk-offs the next couple days, right?
Yeah, and then the Turang homer yesterday.
That's the thing is sometimes we evaluate teams too quickly. Like Chourio was out for most of the year. Now he's back. This is his first week just now that passed that he's back. Vaughn was huge for them last year. He's back. So the Yankees aren't in first place anymore.
Rays, baby.
The Rays have won 14 of 16.
Rays look good. Their pitching looks good.
They look, and their offense looks better.
They got a lot of guys who just get big hits. They know the Rays always have. They know what guys are, and they tell them to excel at what they are.
We talked about this on Friday. They're playing a different brand. Their thing is to try and find market inefficiencies. So now all of a sudden these guys make contact, they bunt, and then you have your core stars, right? Like Caminero and Aranda and Yandy. But then the guys around them are
then you have Chandler Simpson gets on, it's a triple right away.
Yeah, I love Chandler Simpson. Because the league evaluated him as, not enough exit velo, and then he's like, kiss my ass. This plays.
Yeah.
So I root for that.
That type of player still plays.
Yeah. All right, that's it. It's a good Monday. We gave you everything you wanted, hopefully. And then we're back on Tuesday. See you then.
Phillies 7-3 have picked up one game.